Alright, the quest for upstroke domination continues. So, let's see, what did I say? Yeah, because the hand shifting is where the issues lie. For some reason, that's when things get off. That's why we're focusing on doing a bunch of shifting this time. Whatever fingers feel comfortable to you, just use those. Just when you're working this up, you want to make sure that everything feels comfortable. So if you notice anything's getting off, if you notice that the foot's not doing what it's supposed to, if it feels like you're getting off beat, even if, let's say, I was going to say, like, well, even if you are correct, but it seems like it's off, like, well, obviously, it's going to be really hard to be able to tell that on your own. Like, if I heard you doing it, and yet you weren't sure if you were on or not, like, even if you were on, I think it's best that you wouldn't, go up any faster at that point, because we want to make sure that you feel good with everything here. So, if you make it to 140, awesome. If not, that's okay. I want you to just get it up to where you can, where you still feel comfortable, and you know everything that's happening, okay? Alright, so here we are at 60. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here it is at 100. 1, 2, 3, 4. And a 140. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, let me do my usual double count thing at the speed. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's an idea. Program these notes in, I think you said you use Reaper? No, or you use Studio One. Yeah, Studio One, right. Because we've done some lesson stuff with Studio One. So, like, maybe take either one of the guitar things or just some kind of MIDI thing, even if it's like a piano or whatever, and actually program in these notes, and like maybe have a metronome going with that. And this way you can hear it, practice along with that. So, just use that tool to help you as much as you can. So, and there's nothing wrong with doing that. Whenever I'm doing something, working something up to speed that is like maybe like a really weird rhythm, and it's like some odd thing that you could almost never mathematically count comfortably. Ooh, goodness. I like use it in Guitar Pro and just kind of loop it and play it slow that way and work it up in Guitar Pro, so this way I can actually hear what the heck I'm supposed to be trying to play. So you might want to try doing that in Studio One. If you have any questions on how to do that, let me know. I think you know how to program MIDI music. I know you can program drums, right? Yeah. I don't know. Well, hopefully something like that will help you. Alright, moving on here to number 2. So yeah, just continue moving your whole hand as if you're moving a chord where you go string to string, just like you have been doing this past week. And I'm sure I'll do what I want. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Double time. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 160. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, number 3. Nice and rhythmic with their hammer-ons and pull-offs. So I feel things like this when you get used to doing more rhythmic-y things with your legato and your lead playing, it just makes guitar solos sound so much more interesting instead of that constant barrage of just notes all over the place. So just having those spaces in between your notes is really what creates interesting sounding solos, I think. So it's almost like I think of it like, how can I make more riffy sounding guitar solos if I ever do write guitar solos? I usually don't, because I'm more of a riff guy. It's fun to solo and improv and just go at it. So I think it's kind of funny, because when I first started playing, one of the first things I wanted to do early on is be an old solo guitar player, be the lead guy, just solo. And now, just past 20 years, I rarely ever like doing or writing solos, because it's very difficult to make a very unique sounding guitar solo. It's much easier to do that with riffs. And then you kind of get into you get a philosophical music question of, when you write a riffy guitar solo, it's like, is it really a guitar solo anymore? Is it just high-pitched riffs? Like, I don't know. Anyway, good for musicality here, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you need to work up 1 bar at a time or 2 bars at a time, definitely do so. Always try and make things as easy on yourself as possible. Break things down into small chunks whenever needed. Under 20 beats a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 160. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I added a pick. Whoops. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. So regarding the other thing to work on, I'd like you to follow that chord progression by number sheet, where you just have the rhythm strokes up there, or the rhythm slashes. I believe that is the technical name, rhythm slash. So each chord strum it 4 times, and no need to go back and do them over and over and over again. So this way, the main things to focus on this week, definitely the 3 things that were just now demonstrated. I feel you'll have definitely have a good amount of time with the chords, so long as you hit each progression once. So you start with that first one, and the other important thing to keep in mind here. So after you've played through the progression, and I want you to resolve the progression by playing the first chord in the progression one more time at the end. So, like for the first chord progression, the 1, 4, 5, 4. So you play through that, you play the 1 chord, the 4 chord, the 5 chord, the 4 chord, do the repeat, 1 chord, the 4 chord, the 5, then the 4, and then to finish it off, strum the 1 chord one time. So like the second progression, I believe, is 6, 2, 3, 2. So you go through that, you strum the 6th chord 4 times, and you strum the 2nd chord, you strum the 3rd chord, back to chord number 2, repeat, strum chord number 6, then chord number 2, chord number 3, chord number 2, and then you resolve the whole progression by strumming the 6th chord one time. So you could do it with a metronome to kind of help make sure you're not going too fast. Of course, you know what I recommend, good old 60. But if you feel like, maybe if you're just doing the quarter notes, maybe like 80 or 100 would be okay. But let's say this. Let's say you're working on a chord progression and it seems like too much of a struggle. Let's say 100. Back it off like 10 or 20 beats a minute and try it again. So no speed goal. You're not trying to play the chord progressions fast. You are trying to play it accurately though. So that's one thing I want you to shoot for there. So as soon as you play the first chord progression plus that resolved chord one time, including the repeat. So you play the whole thing correctly one time through, then just check it off and then move on to the next progression. So maybe, the first day you practice, you get the first 2 down. And then the second day, you get the 3rd and 4th progression down. So you can do like a couple a day, 1 a day. Just kind of judge on how you feel with it. Most likely there will be a chord progression where maybe going between a couple different chords seems really strange. So just focus on that. Let's say like near the end there, you go like between the F major 7 and the B minor 7 flat 5, also known as the B half diminished 7. Well, if that seems to be a problematic thing, just keep like strumming the F major 7 into the B minor 7 flat 5. Just boom, 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 boom. Just keep going back and forth between those two until it starts to feel more natural, more comfortable, and then put the whole progression together. So if you have any questions on what to do with that, let me know, and I'll see you again next week.